Well, here comes the sun. Well, good morning, Jay.
Hey, Ron, how you doing?
Very
Right
well.
up. Beautiful day. What's for breakfast?
Well, come on up. I think we have some salmon,
Whoa. All right. All we've got on the
mustard
donuts.
greens,
I eat too many donuts.
and chocolate.
Oh, you're kidding. Is this it? Oh, my goodness. We're going to be healthy today, aren't we? You're a nice man. Did you just catch this yourself?
No, not really.
Okay. But you know people who did.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Aha! Summer comes and summer goes. And before you know it, the rain stops and the snow falls. There's a bright golden haze through the spruce trees. The snow is as high as an elephant's eye, and it looks like it's climbing clear up to the sky. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Come on, Nami. So health is the reason for this tape. Air, water, frozen, breathing through nice, clean nasal passages. Remember to clean the nasal cavity with sea salt, saline, boiled water so that the sinuses can drain right, the nasal passages are open, and you can deep breathe and exercise your lungs. When I walk along the trails, we not only need to exercise our legs, but our shoulders also. And getting your shoulders up high, it allows that old blood to drain down, get rid of that carbon dioxide, throw in some good old fresh oxygen, and whatever good nutritious things you ate for breakfast.
Heavy!
Ah! There you are! I've been looking for all of you down there and so greetings to friends, acquaintances, family, viewers across Canada, United States, Mexico, South Korea, Japan, Hong Kong, over in Europe. Well, it's a beautiful morning. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Da 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 ba bum bum bum. Ba bum bum. Da 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 da. Well, it's Easter Sunday, 2021. And when I shut off my editing equipment and looked out the window, Dawn had already raised her attractive head. Human physiology. Number one, the blood has a pH. And as I've gone to the dictionary, the little p and the capital H comes from two French words, which have to do with the power of the hydrogen ions in whatever the solution might be. And the blood pH ranges from 7.35 to 7.45. pH at 7.0 is neutral. So above neutral, the 7.35 to 7.45 that the human blood is in the range of, is alkaline. So pH has to do with the acidity or the alkalinity of a given solution. And if a human's blood pH goes down below 7.40, its efficiency of functioning, particularly carrying oxygen around to the body, is diminished. And the chances of having a cancer is increased. And if a person gets out of that narrow range, they most likely would sink into a coma. And the body has many ways through the lungs, breathing out carbon dioxide, which tends to take the blood down toward the more acid range via carbonic acid, or the kidneys, or the body's ability to steal calcium from the bones to make calcium carbonate to bring the blood pH more up to the alkaline and healthy range. Importance of magnesium ions in the bloodstream. I use this trace mineral drops every day, a couple times a day, just 15 to 20 drops each time, in juice or in kombucha, which is a good tasting fermented, sugarized tea. In this case, it's blood orange, carrot, and ginger flavored. And it has lots of colonies of bacteria or yeast colonies by the billions that repopulate your intestinal tract for that tract to function more normally. But at any rate, this trace mineral solution has a fair amount of magnesium in it. I think it says that either a half teaspoon or a teaspoon has 60% of all the magnesium intake you should have on a given day. And otherwise, you get magnesium in like raw pumpkin seeds, which is a good source. Anything green, spinach and kale is going to have magnesium pending the enrichment in the soils in which those leafy greens are grown. So why is magnesium important? There are thousands, probably millions of neuromuscular junctions in the body. And at that neuromuscular junction, the nerve cell has to be sparked or depolarized in the presence of sufficient amount of sodium and potassium. The sodium goes into the cell and the potassium comes out, or vice versa. And the chloride's there for a reason also. But once that muscle has been triggered to contract, without magnesium, it won't relax. So magnesium is essential for the relaxation phase of a muscle contraction. Otherwise, you're going to have cramping, as in skeletal muscles, or you're going to have constriction, as in the bronchi of the lungs, when a person has bronchial asthma, or your brain doesn't function properly if the muscles in the major arteries, the carotids and so on, that go into the circle of Willis, if those muscles in the blood vessels are constricted, the blood flow to the brain will not be sufficient. And a person might have convulsions. I don't know what all it might have. But reading the articles on magnesium deficiency, most of our population is deficient in the United States. 67 to 80%, different articles guesstimate. And what are the symptoms if your magnesium is low besides cramping?
Okay, well,
Insomnia. And I believe dementia has a part in magnesium deficiency, bronchial asthma, and lots of things happen. I find in the 2 years I've been taking magnesium that my urinary bladder function has improved immensely. My stomach and GI tract, they seem to work so much better and so much more relaxed. And maybe it's just a guess, but I think I'm happier. And of course, I talk so much about the saline that I mix to spray in the nose, squirt in the nose, soften up the mucus and crusting, particularly up here in Alaska where it's so dry in the wintertime. And I, through experiences in treating patients and advising this for patients, I guesstimate that cleaning the nasal passages will cut back on the amount of coughing and sneezing by 50% if a person used this daily. I use it day and night. But on this plate, if you eat like a bird, you'll be eating more seeds and nuts. There's some nuts there, peanuts and Brazil nuts, walnuts, and every morning I try to eat at least a half of an orange mixed with small bites of very bitter and strong raw garlic. And the seeds that are on the plate, which are different than the seeds that I'm giving the chickadees and the redpolls that I filmed this morning, are pumpkin seeds, which is a good source of magnesium, but the sunflower seeds that I give the birds probably also have some magnesium, but also are high on omega-3 fatty acids. So there are also raisins on this plate, In a little bowl I have raisins and peanuts and dates and pumpkin seeds that I dip into probably 20 times a day as I pass by and I want something to chew on that's nutritious. So I put my skillet on this morning with water and a good quality sea salt. I poached an egg. I had run out of asparagus and broccoli, so I had none of that to put in the water. I had the purple and green Brussels sprouts that I cut the stem off and cut it in half before I dice it up into, for my mouth, and also into Naomi's food bucket. A little tomato here and some sauerkraut. I just bought some sauerkraut the other day, which is also good for probiotics, good for your GI tract, and a way to preserve it, and a way to use the lactic acid forming bacteria that's on organic cabbage leaves. And a piece of toast with some smoked Gouda cheese melted on. And also, if we're doing all we're supposed to do, eating right and all of that stuff, then our blood will circulate better if we put the parts of our body that are below our heart up and let that old blood drain out so that it can get rid of the carbon dioxide and also the carbonic acid that's formed if you have too much carbon dioxide in your bloodstream. And when you lay down, to elevate your legs, get your legs up, and let that old blood, particularly the legs, the lower extremities, need to be drained. Gravity is free. You just have to lay down and elevate the legs. And while you're laying down, elevating your legs, elevate your arms up above your heart and let them make circles with them. Get rid of that old blood in your arms. And I do the same thing out on the trail when I'm walking or running. I use now, when I work and shovel too much snow and I've got little aches here and there, I use an organic extract tablet called In Pain, and there are several different ones that can be used. Organic root extracts like boswellia and turmeric and so on that are good rather than putting chemicals in your body. A little bottle of vitamin D3. One drop, 4,000 international units. And with the pain pill, I do chew it up since it's a pressed powder pill. I chew it up until it's really quite fine so that it would be absorbed rather than going through the GI tract with only partial absorption. The snow was as high as a baby elephant's eye just 2 weeks ago. And now the great natural sun's energy has diminished the snow load considerably. It's the 1st of May, 2021. We're getting 17 hours of sun above the horizon now at this northern 65-degree approximate latitude. The Canada geese, swans, other types of geese, ducks, the migratory birds have arrived at Creamer's Field in Fairbanks. And also today, as I was splitting some birch wood, firewood, I noticed that the mosquitoes have been out now for a week or two on the sunny or warmer part of the day. Mosquitoes are the most abundant animal in the tundra north of here. And migratory birds from 5 continents come to this area to have food for their chicks as their chicks are hatched. And up in that area, if little ducklings or little chicks of swans and so on are hatched, and there's a snow squall or a cold spell comes in and kills the mosquitoes, those little ducklings don't survive because the mosquitoes are their baby bottle. And little fish, when you fish grayling and you cut a stomach open, they're full of mosquitoes. And it's high quality protein. So indirectly, we eat the protein of mosquitoes when we eat salmon and ducks and other wildlife meats. And actually clockwise, almost noon. And it's hard to explain to folks that don't live in the woods the excitement of being able to live through very cold temperatures that are sometimes 90 degrees colder than what it is at this moment. And so as I look around, life is coming back. Those plants that have rested now for since September, October, and the raspberry patch here that will be producing raspberries in 2 or 3 months, the strawberry patch, and how the sun changes everything so far as the conditions in which plants and animals can still exist.